And you look also at the failure of the strategy of the leadership of the African National Congress in the engagement with opposition parties. Even at a point where the ANC had lost and had become a minority party, we still had arrogance instead of humility, instead of preparedness to make the necessary steps, to take the necessary steps in order to get into power and to protect the poor. What has happened in Johannesburg, what has happened in Ekurhuleni, what has happened in Tshwane, is that we now have coalitions that will not take care of the majority of black and poor people. Black and poor people are going to suffer severely because of the failure of the African National Congress leadership. And that is why, and let me emphasize this, I've said it several times, that is why I have emphasized right from the moment when those results came out and it became clear that the ANC has become a minority party with only 46% of the vote. Ramaphosa must go. The National Executive Committee of the African National Congress must go. If we want to save the ANC, they have to take their briefcases and their handbags and ship out.
Who's going to replace them, Carl?
There will have to be a special emergency national elective conference. And we will have to allow the people in our branches to speak. Remember, we did not allow a proper democratic vote in the Nazareth elections of 2017. 1 billion rand was used by President Ramaphosa to buy his presidency and to buy the seats of the majority of NEC members in this failing NEC. What we need is an urgent national special elective conference that will give us a leadership that reflects the will of the ANC membership, the will of the ANC branches. And what we're doing now, I'm involved in it, and many other comrades who want to save the ANC. We are reaching out to all the branches, the zones, the regions, and the provinces of the ANC. We're clear that the current leadership must go. It's very promising. ANC members are deeply angered by what happened. They feel betrayed by President Ramaphosa and by this National Executive Committee. They can't wait for them to go. Now we have to organize, be organizational in the way that we interact with the structures of the ANC to achieve that objective, that they have to go.
But still, different political parties don't want to work with you, Carl. Would you say the ANC is becoming a rural political party? Because if you look at the rural villages, that's where you have perhaps got more support. But in the urban areas, people really did not vote for you.
People didn't vote, not because they hate the African National Congress.
But they're disappointed.
They are disappointed by the lack of really changing gear. Because the same problem that we had with regards to the mandatory vaccinations is also the same problem that we have with regards to the poor performance of the African National Congress in these local government elections. It is a failure of leadership. And at the head of that failure of leadership is President Cyril Ramaphosa.
So he failed?
He failed dismally. No one must tell us that the ANC did well. Fikile Mbalula mustn't come and puff the hot air that he does and try and tell us that the ANC was fighting against the SABC. No, it wasn't. It was dealing with the people rejecting the lack of service delivery and the lack of leadership from the side of President Ramaphosa and the National Executive Committee.
Did you campaign for the ANC, Carl?
Yes, I did.
Where?
I campaigned in Kwadakuza. I campaigned in many of the townships of eThekwini. I called for people to vote for the African National Congress. In KwaMashu, I was in a church, and the failure of the ANC.
So they don't want this leadership?
This leadership, I re-emphasize again, have failed, and they must go. I'm convinced that if we can bring a leadership that returns the ANC to its revolutionary principles, its historical liberation task, we will regain the vote. Millions of people who love the ANC and could not bring themselves to vote for any other political party simply stayed away as a protest against this leadership. We can turn it around. But then it demands from us courage.
Yeah.
It demands from us in the ANC who see the writing on the wall to stand up, to take the consequences. If President Ramaphosa and his faction wants to throw the law book at us, wants to use the National Prosecuting Authority as a tool for lawfare, if they want to bring one disciplinary charge against the other, against myself, Comrade Ace Magashule, Comrade Supra, Moamopelu, etc., let them do so. But we should not allow ourselves to be intimidated, because now, at this moment, we're involved in a fight for the life of the ANC. If we fail, the ANC is gone. If we succeed, we will give a new and liberated future to the people of South Africa.
All right, Carl, thank you so much for indeed coming through. I really appreciate your time. I had lots and lots of questions, but we trust that in the future we'll have the opportunity to talk. And I think I didn't do my job right by not asking you if you're still angry. Are you still very angry at the ANC, Carl? Are you angry?
I'm not angry with my liberation movement, my organization.
But you're
I joined
disappointed.
the ANC when I was 19. I love the ANC. It's my family. I'm angry with failed leaders who sold out and who do not deserve to be in the leadership of the ANC, and in fact, who do not even deserve to be in the African National Congress. I repeat once again, they must go. I've been threatened by some of these leaders. 2 weeks ago, I had two white men, one with a gun on his hip, at my apartment door. Fortunately, I wasn't there. My niece found them there and asked what they were doing. I've been told on social media, on Twitter and on Facebook, that I'm going to be killed. I'm not going to get myself intimidated. I'm not going to suddenly live a life of fear. I'm going to fight. Because all we have is this organization, the African National Congress. The people of South Africa only has the ANC in order to bring their dreams, their ideals, and their hopes for full liberation to fruition. We cannot, we may not fail them, and we're not going to fail them.
All right, Carl, once again, thank you. All right, there you have it. Carl Niehaus, member of the African National Congress, says that he still loves the ANC, and he